Hey guys, so I'm at the first of, I believe, 4 bridges I plan on visiting today. They're all in the same area. This is a Smith Millennium Bridge, and as you can see, it is dated 2001, and there's a reason for that. They had to rebuild this bridge. So a little history here. It was named after a local farmer named Jacob Smith. The first bridge, I believe the first bridge at this site had started construction before 1786, so there's not an exact date for that, but yeah, that's one of the older dates I've seen. Let's see, in 1850, contractor Harmon Marcy of Littleton, and we've heard that name before, built a new bridge at a cost of about $2,700 using a pre-stressed wooden truss patented by Colonel Stephen Harriman Long, and we've seen that style before, called the long truss, where they use wedges to pre-stress the truss, where they connected in the bottom. And after an arsonist burned the bridge in 1993, the state constructed this 2-lane bridge. They built this one with glued laminated timbers, and we've seen the laminated timbers before, but these ones are actually glued and bolted, and that's because it's more modern and they knew better to do that. And that was at a cost of $3.3 million and dedicated in 2001. And of course, this new bridge was made to span, regular traffic. So it's a regular 2-lane road. I'm not sure if I can actually walk on the bridge, but they did build it with these walkways on the side of it so that I can walk along the side, and maybe I'll have to peek inside. There's nothing saying I can't walk inside of there. It is, again, it's kind of a busy road, but this is a regular 2-lane road. Like the last one I showed you, with 1 car at a time. Well, this is not the case because this is a more modern bridge. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can take a peek underneath. I know there's some people swimming down in the river there, so I really don't want to go down there and bother anybody, but I'll show you what I can show you here. Here's some more information here about the bridge. So designed and constructed between 1994 and 2001. So it was burned down in 93, and of course they had to get right on it because this does carry everyday normal traffic. And there's some more information there. I'm glad they didn't replace it just with a regular bridge. They did replace it with a historic looking covered bridge. So, they have a nice parking area here and a boat launch and everything. But it's nice that they built a walkway across the side of it, to get across on foot, bike, whatever. I still would like to take a walk inside there. We'll see if I can do that. We'll still get a good look at the structure. Sorry about the sun glare, it's right in my face. You see the start right here, these laminated arches. And that's a single arch, even for a large bridge like this. It's just one arch all the way through. Here is a nice wooden wall. Of course, you have the river, Smith River. And here you get a really close look at these laminated boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Glued. 2 sections. And they used some old school designs too by notching them. Very cool. So it is more modern, but had to keep it looking like it's original. Again, there's one of the arches. Here's the arch on this side. That's massive. So we can count these. If I can't even see them. Looks like about 22 boards glued together. Wow. Let's walk along and look at that arch. Okay, I see where they're bolted here. Like half and half, they kind of notch into each other. Continue. And right there is where they use wedges. And again, even though it's a modern design, you can see the wooden dowels to hold those wedges into place. A little noisy. Even these are all laminated, these posts. So pretty much all of these are glued and bolted. Right there's another example of the wedges. Wooden dowels holding them in place. This is where the arch goes down into the concrete. All right, so I wanted to give you a look at that design. The Colonel Stephen Harriman Long design. And you can see how that's kind of cut into, they call it a joggle. I believe that's what it's called. Let me give you a closer look at that. Okay, and also what they use, sorry about the traffic, down below they use these wedges to pre-stress the trusses, and I'll show you those. So you can see where it goes down, and that's the arch. But you can see how they use these wedges right here. Because it won't be able to push anymore like that. That's what made this style so strong. And you can see a wedge right there. So you have the big beam here going down into the bottom of the framing, and they're wedged in place. So there's a little closer look at that joint up there, how it's notched a couple times into the next beam just to give it extra strength. So instead of just being bolted to each other, it's cut into that. I believe they call that a joggle, and it's also wedged. And I showed you the wedges at the bottom. Okay, so I'm able to get up high enough here on these rocks to show you where the arches meet, and I can show you those wedges from underneath. So I turn around here, you see the beams coming through, and they're wedged all the way through. Wedged. All those beams that come down through have wedges on either side of them. So that was that design that was patented by Stephen Harriman Long. And even though this is a new structure, they used the old techniques, which is really nice to see. So there it is, the Smith Millennium Bridge in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Take one last drive through. All right, on to the next.